Hey, it's Bruce with Blowing Snow for Fun. Finally got a little bit of snow last night, not a lot, about 3-4 inches. And it was real powdery last night when I went outside to take the dogs out before I went to bed. And something happened, and I don't know if it rained or it warmed up or whatever the case might be, but it's all kind of slushy underneath. And depending on when people got out and shoveled or plowed, some of the sidewalks are all ice. Some of the driveways are the same way. Some of them have an eighth of an inch of slush frozen on them and stuff like that. Well, I'll tell you, this morning I took my dog for a walk and I was going to shovel and I thought to myself, no, I'll take the dog for a walk first. So I did that. And as I was walking through the neighborhood, there was a professional snow removal guy down the block doing the driveway. And he had his big errands out and he was doing it. And I thought, well, it looks like a little overkill, for this morning. And then as I started to walk and I started to see the conditions and how, that layer of slush was underneath, I saw why he was doing it. And then I had another neighbor down the block from me that was shoveling when I left. And then when I had on my way back, he was out cleaning up with a snowblower. I was like, hey, what's the deal? I thought you started off shoveling. He was like, yeah. He says that I started shoveling. It was kind of heavy and it's just not worth having a heart attack if you got a snowblower sitting in the garage. And I said, yeah, that's a really good point. So, like I said, I was going to shovel, but I'm getting the snowblower. I've got the errands sitting out behind me. I'm going to fire it up, and there's not a lot of snow, but I thought I'd get a video out there and let you see a little bit of Wisconsin white. All right, 28 degrees, cold start. Check the oil. We're all set to go. load of shingles. And I looked up at the last minute and noticed them. So always check with both ways if you get to the end of the drive, just to be safe before you go out to make your turn around. SHO made really quick work of that. I got to tell you that it's important, and I think you've probably noticed this. Whenever I get done blowing snow, I park the machine for a couple minutes. I sweep all the surface snow off of it, kind of get anything that's loose in front of the impeller. Never, ever stick your hands in the auger or the impeller when that machine is running for any reason. That's why that plastic tool's on the front. Let the machine shut off completely, or disengage the auger, let the handles go, idle it down, go around front and use that tool if you have to, or a broom handle or something like that. Never, ever just think, oh, it's just a clothesline. I'll just reach in there and I'll grab it and pull it out, because you're going to come out with less fingers than you went in. And it's a problem to avoid when you before you put the machine away. A lot of guys will shut the auger off and then they'll run the machine up to the garage. Well, on that trip, you're scooping up a bunch of snow and ice and crap like that, and it gets into that impeller housing and freezes. And then when you go to turn the machine on the next day, it scorches, it wrecks the belt, because the impeller is frozen and it won't turn. So always make sure that you shut your machine down correctly, that you clean it off good, put it in the corner of the garage or the shed or whatever, let it cool off. Then I got a small cover that I throw over the engine just to keep things nice and clean. If the garage door is open or something like that and snow's blowing in, or I'm out in the garage working with my miter saw and I'm doing a bunch of cutting, I don't get all that dust on the engine. So again, Bruce with Blowing Snow for Fun. I'm glad you could join me today.